Hello and welcome back to the ESA Cup. We're now into week 6, day 3, and I've got 2 matches for you tonight. It's just going to be me on my own, just chambering, and we are surely going to have a good night at least. 2 games for you. So the first one will be Native versus Penta, and then the second one will be Black versus Palakarki. In terms of the starting times, we are just due to start just now. We're a little bit late, just being behind schedule a little bit, just because some lobby issues. Now we've got that basically just due to start in a moment or two. Just waiting on a couple of players, and then we'll get going. Like I say, it's Native versus Penta, excuse me, and that starts at 8 o'clock Central Eastern Time, and then we have the Black versus Penta game, Black versus Palakarki game to finish off the evening at 9:15 Central Eastern Time. Of course, just take off an hour if you're GMT, and that is pretty much all the games you'll see tonight. All of them are in the same group, so it's pretty big stuff tonight, because we're in the dying kind of embers of the groups, so we've only got 2 weeks left, this week and next week, and then the groups are done. And this is where teams obviously start to kind of solidify their places and stuff like that. Now, I believe now, just looking at the maths of things, Penta have already qualified. I think, let me just check, 4 point. Oh, well, not so much, depending on what this game actually could get spicy depending on how it goes out. So, they're not quite safe. Team Black and Molotov Gang have already qualified for the playoffs. Obviously, places are still to be decided, but they're currently sitting in the top 2 spots. Team Black at the top on 15 points. Molotov Gang UK on 15 points as well in the second place. Penta's in third place with 12 points. You've then got Team Kodak on 12 points. Native, though, are sitting on 8 points. Now, Palakarki have to play later on against Team Black, and that's pretty much of no significance because they're already out the competition. They have 2 games left, and the maximum they can get out of that is 6 points, which would put them on to 10 points, meaning that they can't make the minimum of 12 to get to knock anyone out of that top 4. So they're out, so they're boobats. Now, so that means that later on, Team Black will likely just pick up some free points against Palakarki, depending on how Palakarki are playing. If they're just having a bit of fun or not, they don't have anything to play for. It could be an upset there. But the first game does have a little bit of weight behind it, because if Penta were to lose this would put Native onto 11 points and Penta on 12. And then if Kodak were then to play, I actually think they've changed their name. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% if that's been updated yet on Wikipedia. But if they were to play and they were to win, they would go into 15 points, which mean that it would be a straight shot to the finish line between Penta and Native on that 4th spot. So this is a big game. If Penta win this, they're all but safe. If Native win this, though, that's where things get spicy. We'll move on to the map ban zone, see where it is that we're going to be visiting for this evening. Now, Cafe, straightforward, not too difficult. We'll see what is going to be happening. I actually just realised I've got an extra player in the lobby, so I'll see what's happening in a second. With that, there's a bit too much people in that one. So let me just check what's happening as well. So bear with me a second. Of course, I'm hosting on my own tonight, so apologies if I come in and out, just to make sure that things are set up. Also, just need to very quickly join a party so that we don't get all of the game chat at the end of the game or the start of the game if there is any to be had. Okay, so like I say, we're going to Cafe. We are pretty much ready to start. We'll be heading to Cafe and we will see what we have in store for us on that map. So Cafe, it's a pretty standard map. It's been a while since it was reworked. It's been years since it was reworked, so it's a standard map to see. It's nice to go to something different a little bit. It's not my favourite to spectate, just because it can be a little bit janky. It's not quite the greatest to view on, but it's a fun map to play on nonetheless, and it's interesting as well because it does invite a little bit more in terms of the difference of the play style. It invites a bit more repelling opportunity and stuff like that, but it needs a little bit more of that. Basically, it's the way it works. In terms of the bans, of course, they're just ringing out just now. Thatcher's the first one to fall, and not surprised. Thatcher's still pretty strong, not quite one that you would see as much now, obviously, with the addition of those EMP nades, so people don't ban them away as much. But sometimes, you know, it can just be better just to get rid of them, just to make sure, just to take away that comfort, and make sure that they are not able to get that. And that was Penta that started us off with the bans there. They started off with the Thatcher ban, of course. Now, Jackal, another attacker that I'm not surprised to go away on Cafe, especially with such roam game available, so many floors to traverse up and down this map, so there is ample opportunity for roamers to get in and hide in those nooks and crannies around that map. But Jackal will not be on the map, not be able to assist anyone in getting rid of them. Azami as well to go. Strong ban, of course, Cafe. We've seen that played so often on the top floor, and Cigar, they're used quite a lot. You can basically pop them on the tables, you can pop them on the chairs, and make sure that it's so difficult to actually try and get rid of anyone inside of the Cigar Lounge. And that is, that's likely what the plan is with that, really. Okay. Right. Let's get into this. You have my full undivided attention. I've done everything I need to do in the background, and we are here. We're ready to have some exciting games. And is that everybody got their champ bag cards on the background there, just to flex them a little bit and show that they have been able to get to the highest rank in the game?
Attackers have located a bomb.
Spec you active. Looking for intel.
Activating jammer.
No. The thing is, with the Mira being banned and the Azami being banned away, that leaves the door open for a certain someone that we've not been able to see the entire time that we've been in ESA group stages, and that is Solus. She's been banned so many times. She's a mainstay ban. She's been banned out in just about every single game that we've seen throughout this season so far, so we'll finally get to see her on an actual round. And on Cafe nonetheless, which is a good map for it to be on, because you have that vertical play. You can look up and down through the floors and see if there's any electrical gadgets to be found, mainly those drones and anything around that map as well. Now, starting on the top floor, Penta of course on the defense. Native are the ones starting on this attack now, moving in from that west side, and it looks as though it's a standard take as usual. Trying to find the claymores here. Tim will pop those goggles on just to spot them out. Though opens up that wall there and or opens up that barricade even, and gets ready for the hop out. Gets rid of at least one of the claymores. Not able to get rid of the air jab just yet with that impact, though. Still going to play around that area just to make sure that there is pressure and thought has to be put there onto that window. Apologies. From the knock, they have to at least think about the fact that there could be someone on that, and the Valk here of Holy going for a little bit of a swing there. Reluctant gets the first pick on the board here. It's Tim who falls. That's the Solus dealt with, and at least they can start to move around and be a little more comfortable that has been dealt with now. They have the control inside of Cigar and all the way up to white corner nearly, but Tiro pops through it and is able to take Clazaria off the board, and Zaro those instantly hits back with a refrag onto Holy, and now it's a 4 versus 3 situation as Tiro holds on to the white corridor up towards that pixel area. Now goes in, starts moving through, finds one. Can he find a double? Can't quite land the shot. Slow. There is a bite back from the knock, and now it's risk in a 1 versus 3 situation. The shotgun in hand on those of the player close though, but they're going to be spotted out on the cam, and information's there. They know they're in bathroom, but they're up and into Freezer. Gets the down, the nade's cooked. It's almost perfect, but it just rolls out a distance before risk is dealt with. Although the shotgun again, but doesn't quite react in time. Dreams is quicker on the trigger, and Native take the first round on the attack of Cafe. A nicely done attack there from the side of Native. Really well done. And like I say, this is a spicy game. This has a bit of weight behind it because Native need this to stay in the competition. Well, they don't. Yes, they do. They need to win this on the maths. If they lose this, they only have 1 game left to play. I'm just looking at it just now.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
So they've had... So there's been 2 wins, and yeah, they've played other games so far. So yeah, they need to win this game or they're out of ESA Cup, and that is the reality of it. That'll be the top 4. That'll be it decided. Yeah. So this game has quite a bit of weight behind that. just based on the groups and looking what that is. So that would decide the top 4. By the way, I've just received information that Kodak were playing under Vivid for a while, but I think they maybe have changed it back. So unclear what their name actually is just now. Maybe just LFO we can go with. But they're on 12 points, Penta on 12, Molotov Gang on 15, and Team Black as we speak on 15. Like I say, this is the big game. This is the one that decides things. If Native win this, they'll shake things up. They'll make things interesting going into the last week of the season. If not, if they lose it out, Penta qualify and Native are out, and that is the top 4 decided. It is just placements then to be decided in the last week of the season. Now, same attack as before, same site as before. They're going to go for that top floor clear. They're going to move in from the west side. The air jabs are in place. And this time we're not going to see the Solus. Instead, they're going to swap out for Mozzie instead and bring that in the form of, in the hands of Tim at least. And now sends that C4 out just a little bit early there. Thought there was someone on that castle barricade towards that piano area, but there was no one there. It's actually the other window that the rappel is on. Knock is still there. Has a 1.5 and a little bit of zoom all the way through towards that long angle on that heaven area, but not able to get any kills just yet. Tim though is going to find the first one onto Zaro, and that is the diffuser cold on the floor as it is shot straight out of the sky as they were hanging onto that rappel for that moment. But Nock's going to drop down as well. A little bit of damage there done towards Rook though, who is eventually dealt with, and that is Tiro to find 1 for Penta, and it's a 4 versus 3 situation with Reluct also falling to Karma at the same time, and it's a 2 versus 3. Dreams hops in a window below inside of Mining and looks to try and support their teammate who is left all alone inside of Cigar Lounge as we speak. But they are moving up towards that white corridor, up towards Pixel. There's a long angle to be spotted here, but the head is spotted inside of the bar area, but not able to land any shots. So Dreams has been able to get to the top floor now inside of Cigar Lounge, finds once 2 versus 2 situation, and now it looks as though Native could get some momentum through this round. Still a minute and a half left for them to do this, but I don't think they're aware of the fact there's a player in the middle of that bar area, and Karma finds Dreams, but it's so low for HP, just doesn't quite know where the other player is. So Klazari takes quite a bit of damage this time from Holy, and Holy is all the way back in towards Cocktail Lounge, and now pushes up towards bar. Karma now holding on to the door inside of Freezer, but they're not aware of the fact that Klazari's actually rotated round, and that those pre-fire shots will give away the position up towards that white corridor, and now rotates towards the bathroom area, finds the head through the wall to Holy, and now it's a 1 versus 1. Karma still holding strong, knows the player will come through Freezer, but is not quite going to go for it just yet. Some pre-fires going out just to make sure that the player knows that they are in hunt for them, but doesn't quite know where the player is. Has the flashbangs in hand, sends him out, but Karma still as patient as ever, holds onto this doorway inside a bar, knows the player's going to hop through that. Here's the hop, goes for the spin, but doesn't quite land the shots. Who's going to come on top here? Klazari has to swing now, but doesn't quite land the shots, and still 30 seconds left on the clock. Sees the head, surely lands the shots, and Klazari with the clutch, the 1 versus 2, and Native take another attack on Cafe. Outstanding work there from Klazari on that clutch. It looked as though Penta were going to be finally able to get, I say finally, but it's only been 2 rounds. It looked as though they were going to be able to get that on the board, and like someone running the copper background there, of course, because you get every single one of them, and I think that's just what they're just flexing that. A couple of flexes with the champ backgrounds and whatnot, just, you know, showing it off. And it looks as though we're going to see something spicy as well. The first pick of the season for Brava, I believe, unless she was picked in the last night's games. I didn't actually tune in last night because I was busy casting myself. So if she was picked last night, do please tell me. But as far as I know, it'll be the first time I'll have seen her in this league anyway. Be in the hands of Reluct, so we'll see if there is any interesting tactics to be deployed for this one. Now, the gadgets that really are of consequence on the defense at the moment would be the things like the Cade Claw as well as the ADSs. The Mozzie Pest aren't as big a deal, because of course there is only 3 of them, and they are just kind of prevent the drones. And if you do steal one of those, it's almost kind of pointless, because you can't steal a drone from a defender after that because there's no drone to be stolen. So it just depends on what that relationship is. I haven't really looked into it too much. Now, there is a little bit of an extension out towards that bakery side. That usually is the case for this bottom floor defense, and they do have a blitz stacked up on that, and there's also a Ying as well. So this is going to be a quick attack here, push coming through. Look at that, they're all the way through, but Holy there is there to receive. A punch to the face. Cade, and the pistol is out, and Cade's down and dead, and there's a little bit of damage done onto the Jaeger, and eventually they are dealt with inside of bakery. But there's a player inside of Harry Potter. Tiro's going to be feeling the pressure, sends the C4 out, doesn't find his mark though, and is still flashed out though. 3 versus 3 situation. The pistol is in hand here for the Blitz, and inside the site is all descending into chaos inside there. Someone hits a Frostman. It's a 2 versus 2 situation. Risk though is now dealt with. Rook though on a triple kill for the round, and Tim left on a 1 versus 2. But Klazari is down, but not out. Not just yet. It's technically a 1 versus 1 with the Blitz. They're going to get each other out, but Tim goes for the swing. He finds 1, and now it's a 1 versus 1. It's still just the Blitz though, and the Legion mines go down just to prevent the push coming through, and they're going to have to go and get that diffuser, get it picked up and collected to get back in towards the site and get a plant down. There is a pre-place C4, but no one's going to be there to detonate because Legion doesn't have C4s though. Just waiting though. Tim gonna have to get an aggressive though. The flash comes out though, and he's gonna be looking for the 4K, but it's Tim to come out on top and wins it for Penta, and that is the first round on the defense for Penta for this matchup. I think someone's DC'd, so we'll let the time just tick down before they get back in, and then I'll pause it. We'll find out in just a second what the issue is. Just bear with me for a moment, just while we wait on another player. I think they've just disconnected, so they'll join back in a moment. We'll see what the issue is. But what a great round that was. Quick rush coming in there from the Blitz. The Blitz did so well. 3 kills on the round. It was more the players supporting that Blitz rush that they weren't quite able to get the control that they needed. They weren't able to support that Blitz. And it didn't really matter though. The Blitz was able to make quite a headway into the round, got himself a triple kill, was looking for the 4K but couldn't quite get it over the line at the end and lost that 1v1 out, and Tim came out on top. So it could have went either way there, but a good attack from Native there. It worked to some extent, just didn't quite get the final touches onto the round. And just while we wait on getting the players in, I will just pop us to a quick break. It will only be a couple of minutes, and then we'll come back and see if we've got this sorted. Hello and welcome back. Apologies for that brief delay there, but we are back and ready to go. It is pretty much it's just an issue with the rehosting. I had to just very quickly rehost because someone was having some connection issues. But we're back, we're ready to go. We're all happy as Larry, as some would say.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
But that is us ready to go. We're on the middle floor now. Of course, the way things have worked out, Pent have been to the top floor twice and lost it both times. They then went down to the bottom floor and they've won that. Albeit in a almost close fashion at the end there, but they still won it. So they can't go back down there. They're going to have to change things up. They don't want to go back to the top floor, so they're going to go to one of these tertiary sites. Just one of the middle ones. They've chosen to go for the reading library area. That looks as though what they fancy. Not want to go for the mining as we speak, but they're trying this one out at the moment.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Bringing along the cap can as well, just to cause a little bit of havoc on that top floor and make sure that people have to pay attention as they move through the map. But there is a counter to cap can, of course, now on the board in the form of Brava, so we could see some interesting interactions if she is able to get her drone near enough to any of those traps to steal them away from the defenders. And we could see the first one in comp if it is able to be achieved. Now, of course, it's not the greatest way to spectate on this side. I apologise, just because it's not the greatest when it comes to Cafe. I don't know why they designed it this way, but there should be a head spotted here. Doesn't quite land the shots there. Dream's not able to get a handle of the recoil to take the head Jaeger off. Instead, just takes a bit of damage themselves and now has to rotate out of that situation. Tim, downstairs, inside of reading as well, is Karma on the bottom floor, just sweeping through that bottom area just to provide that roam game in the form of the Oryx can pop up through those hatches if they need be. There is one on the top floor as well as another back-to-back inside of that cigar and bar area. And we're being held here by Risk, just waiting for someone to come up onto that skylight and show a pixel of their head so that they can take it off there. But Holy is going to open up the scoreboard inside this round and finds we're locked on the ticket window just inside of Cigar Lounge now. We'll be feeling the pressure at least coming in as these drones start to find the information that they need, that there is a player inside though. Coming through, hopping through the rotate just at the wrong time there, but the refrag is instant. Holy finds the double kill, but is dealt with immediately from the knock. Dreams, the Brava's still on the board, still can be used to get rid of these Capcan traps. Surely the call's been made that there is Capcan traps around this map and that they could be stealing them away, but just as we say that, we go down to a 2 versus 4 situation as the push came through towards the pixel area was dealt with. Clazario now trying to make up amends for the player that was killed so briefly inside that area. Those sends a nade towards the top of the white staircase, but doesn't find its mark because Tiro's dropped away from that situation, and now the drones come out from Rook to try and find the ability to steal some of these gadgets back, or away, sorry. Downstairs, you still have the Oryxo being yellow pinged as we speak, just inside of a train there, but they know that they're being yellow pinged. I think they're just going to start to dance around inside that objective area, just inside a train museum, just to show that just so that they're not standing still and not giving them the free kill through the floorboards. Klazari, though, still want to try and tease a swing down the white stairs. No, there is going to be so many people holding onto that angle and holding on the crossfire here. Jaeger is the one at the bottom there, just waiting for someone to come around from the fireplace hall area and still holding the angle. And still see Tim, sorry, is the one to hold as well. The double swing there comes up the staircase, though, not able to land the shot, so Klazari finds one onto Tiro, and now Tim is still wanting to go up for the swing, though. Doesn't know if the player's still there, but Klazari now has to swing, lands a shot and gets the down, but not quite able to get the kill just yet. Instead has to push, but Risk is the one with the crossfire and is able to get the final shot into Klazari's chest, and that will win the round for Penta. So Penta even up the scoring inside 4 rounds. It's now 2 each on their defense, at least, and they've been able to get at least some profit out of that after what looked like a shaky start, and they've been at least managed to get themselves on the board in a couple of rounds. Now they're instead not going to go back to the top floor again. Of course, they have lost it twice. No chance that they're going to go back there. They're just going to try out these middle floors areas and see if they can get a result in there. Mine End is the next area for them to hold on to, and that's of course another tertiary site, another middle floor one, another difference of opinion, because you're not going to be going to the top floor or the bottom floor, which is the most 2 common sites. Usually just see a jiggle between those, and if you win you lose, they just usually start to go between those 2 until we get to the end of their half. But no, Penta seem to be confident in their ability to set up the site in these middle areas now. They've just won that middle one in pretty convincing fashion, with quite a few crossfires and quite a few counter strats brought out there. They're not going to bring the Brava this time native, though. They're going to switch over to the Twitch instead and see if they can get a result with that. Penta, though, have quite a bit of an extension to the top floor. They've got Holy upstairs with the cap cannon, of course. Doesn't see anyone hit a cap trap. I didn't even see any interactions with the Brava gadget either, so there wasn't anything really done from either of those operators in terms of that previous round. But we'll see if they can do anything inside this one. No 2 players inside the bathroom as we speak now. Zaro up towards the window now onto white corridor, put the pressure onto the players inside of a bathroom. It's Holy that's inside there, just now inside a freezer, just looking to get the information on the cams there and then popping out to see if there's anyone that can be peeked inside of Cigar Lounge. Knows there's a player on the window. The pressure does come, but there is a player inside of washrooms as we, at this moment in time as well. Tim is that player. Has a 1.5 and knows that there's going to be a player on upside down rappel on the reverse angle waiting for them to just make a mistake here. Risk down below has a C4, of course, or no, he doesn't have the C4, actually has the impact on the Valkyrie instead. It's Dreams, though, to open up the scoreboard inside this round, though. Pops in there, Dreams gets himself a double kill, just hops in towards Cigar Shop and pops in there and deals with the 2 players inside of Freezer like they were not even there, like a knife through butter. Easy as you like. Now a 2 versus 5 situation. No Risk surely has some information that there is a player nearby, and there's one on the window. Ruck knows exactly where he is, finds the head of Risk, and it looks as though Penta have been washed right out of this round, and a flawless comes out from the attacking side of Native as they clear through this map in convincing fashion. The middle floor not able to be held this time, instead will fall, and Native take 3 rounds to Penta's 2. However, we now graduate into a different type of playstyle here, because this is the pressure round. This is the big round. This is the deciding round. Who's going to get... Is there going to be an advantage heading in to the second half for Native, or can Penta even up the scoreboard and bring things up to a 3-3 split before they head onto their attack? We will certainly figure that out in the next 3 minutes.
Bomb located by attackers.
But they're allowed to go back to the bottom floor. Last time, of course, we did see that Blitz rush, which was to some degree successful, but it just failed at the last hurdle, which was Tim's T5 in the hands of the Legion, and that was able to slow down that final clutch. It wasn't able to be brought into the realms of possibility for Native there, and Penta were able to win that one out. So, last one could be considered a little bit of luck or a little bit of skill, just in that last dying embers of that round. So this time, though, they've made amends or made different changes to the roster, the lineup, for Native, and they're going to just bring a standard kind of lineup, I guess. Nothing too drastic. Of course, the Twitch making its way as well as the Flores. So the two operators with the drones as their gadgets will be well within this 5-man stack here as they begin their push from the southeast side. It looks as though they are going to take a push from the white staircase, and there is a player inside of Christmas, or should we say VIP section, depending on how call you want to go for. The Flores drone immediately, quick and clean, gets in there and deals with all of the ADSs and the shield with one drone beautifully placed. That is a nade to come in as well. Cooked not to perfection, doesn't quite find its mark inside of VIP section though. Risk is still holding on for dear life in there. Not quite feeling as much pressure yet though. Dreams though will be shut down though from a cross angle that comes through from the whiskey area. And now this is 2 versus 5 and it's just falling apart here. And Risk just clicks one inside of VIP. He's going to pop out though. There's a 1 versus 5 situation now. Tira though is able to find Reluctant. The last call is made onto that double window and it looks as though we're going to see a quick round as Klazari is in a 1 versus 5 inside first minute of the round. The rappel will be heard and surely the hop out will come out of the double door, and that's exactly what happens. Tiro pops out there in another flawless round. They respond immediately to Native's flawless round with their own, and it's a 3-3 split. This looks like it's going to be even, shot for shot all the way to the finale. Of course, remember, if you're just tuning in, this is a big game. This is a massive game because this decides who gets into the playoffs and who doesn't. Well, that does kind of. Penta win, Native go home. Pack their bags, they're up the road, they'll be back to their family, that's it. Native win, and things get interesting. They don't quite edge into the top 4, but they are within 1 point, which means that they would rely on Penta losing next week. So if Penta were to lose next week and if Native win next week, then we would see Native going through. The same can be said of Kodak. If Kodak were then to lose next week or this week, I think they've already played actually, yep, they've played 6 games, so if they lose their game next week, Kodak, then Native would go through. If they win theirs, of course. That's the permutations, that's what you need. So if Penta win this game, Native go home. If Native win this game next week, Penta need to win to solidify their place in the playoffs. And Native also need to win, but they need either Penta or Kodak to lose at the same time. And that would be enough to put them into playoffs. So they basically need to get 2 wins flush before they go to get themselves into playoffs. So the hope does rest all within the next few rounds for Native, and now they move on to their defense. So of course it can be considered a defensive-sided map for this one because attacking this map does require quite a bit of coordination. Dreams on the bottom floor inside White's just teasing out the potential for a spawn peek onto that window, but there'll be no one there. Of course, Tiro will be rotating up towards that doorway and towards White. C4 goes out early. Dreams is the one that sends that out. No, it's not. It's Klazari instead of Cocktail Lounge trying to find it onto the window. Knows there was one on the rappel. Instead, they're going to rotate from that east side and flip the push towards the west. Holy's the one on the rappel, waiting for anyone to potentially jump out, but there is a player inside of Cigar Lounge getting aggressive onto the window, and I don't think anyone is aware of how advanced this position is for Zaro, but they will be spotted out. The damage is done and Native are unfortunately not able to get the opening pick there. The shots were not able to be landed there from Zaro, and he is in the dirt. There's a ping though comes through towards, look at the yellow ping, beautifully done though. Tiro though able to get the wall bang onto Ruck inside of that small box area inside the cigar shop, and now Pentas begin their attack in strong command and form. Still not inside the map though. That's 2 kills from the windows. Tiro though is the most aggressive player for Penta as we speak. Now inside of the Cigar Lounge. Moving through the map and want to get towards that white corridor push now. Knows that there is a player that will have to be dealt with in that area because there usually is. There's one player inside of Freezer and there's one farther down towards that construction stack area. Inside of Freezer still, the Goyo, and blows are traded on the other side as Klazari is able to find Tim inside the cigar shop, playing in this aggressive bar position behind, right on the bomb chassis. Knows that someone will have called out that his position and he will be dealt with as the push comes through from Risk all the way through Freezer. Though there's a player coming through Cocktail, though is able to land the shots, though the Valkyrie takes a little bit of damage, and Reluck is supported by his teammate and Dreams inside of Freezer, who's able to land 1. But there's another player to be dealt with inside of Cigar Lounge. Where's the diffuser though? Karma then rotating in. The nade goes through and it finds its mark. Karma with a double kill to finish it for Penta. And they go into the lead for the first time in this matchup. 4-3 split on their first round of attack.
Now it seems like Penta might have a little bit of momentum now. And hopefully for their sake, they can solidify themselves in the playoffs by winning this outright and just sending Native home.
Attackers need to locate
Surely they know
enemy
this.
bomb.
Surely they know that Native will be fighting for every inch of this map, and every single opportunity that they give them will be eaten up with such delight and ferocity. That's exactly what Native will be after.
The passion should be in this stack at the moment. So I wouldn't get too ahead of himself. Penta have to get a couple of rounds in a row. Would be surprised if this was a 4-4 split. It's probably what this match deserves. It probably does deserve a little bit of overtime or a little bit of excitement.
10 seconds insertion.
No. Middle floor. Changing things up, of course. They've just lost the top floor and not opted to show the obvious choice, which would be the bottom floor. Maybe trying to catch the attackers out and go for that middle floor. But remember, attacker repick is a thing anyway. So if anyone's droned that site and got the information for Penta, then they will be able to just change their things up and bring a different lineup that could match. Now, Holy's been an interesting operator in the form of the IQ. Of course, has the Commando with a 1.5 in tow. But the IQ does demand a specific type of playstyle, though the opening pick, though, is going to catch Ruck out, who's moving up the white staircase and not paying attention to the fact that Tim was on the window and ready for it, and just not quite paying attention. Caught lacking, if you will, on that white staircase. Turns his back to the window and receives a pre-fire straight into his spinal cord. And now we're in a 5 versus 4 situation in favour of Penta. Open up these hatches. Looks like they're going to do a down push and coming from the top floor towards Cigar Shop and Cigar Lounge. No one's on the top floor though for Native, though. As we say that, of course, Zaro does do a little bit of a rotate to the top floor and now begins a presence in there. There's 2 players now, actually. I just do apologise for missing out the fact that Reluct is still wedged firmly inside of Cocktail Lounge. Has castle barricades there to support. There's quite a few players on that repel but doesn't react in time, as Tim is the one to come out on top versus Reluct. And now Penta look to go on with the momentum towards the top of the site, and they deal with the frost as well. Klazarian Dreams now in a 2 versus 5. Dreams, though, joining his teammate inside of Train and Fireplace, though, but Tiro there is there to profit on that and just waiting for the player to come through the Fireplace and deals with it, no problem at all. And Penta look as though they've got the momentum in full swing. That's 3 rounds in a row. Native needs something. A tactical timeout would be helpful. Maybe a regroup. But no. They're going to just show the kitchen cooking. They're going to go to the bottom floor, and that's the obvious choice. Of course, there's 2 rounds in a row they've lost on their defense. They need something quick. They're bringing the castle, they're bringing the Capcan, and they're bringing that frost as well. So plenty traps, plenty utility to deal with. They do have the Jaeger and the Wamai, so nades can be dealt with if they are brought alongside. And it looks as though they will be. 4 nades on side for the attackers at this moment in time. Unless they decide to change things up. But they've changed. They were going to go kitchen. They've changed it. And they're going to go for the middle site again. It looks as though they have an idea and they maybe know what went wrong when it came to their last defense in the middle floor. And hopefully they've made amends for that. And maybe that is just because we did see that early pick come out. The barricade bang did come out. I don't know if it was yellow ping or pre-fire. I think it just basically pre-fired the window. Seen the player, of course, once the barricade broke, and then just finished off the kill. And that was that
5 seconds to go.
for Ruck. But Native need a performance now. They need it more than ever, or they will be heading home and packing their bags. They'll be out of the competition. Because they're on 8 points right now as we speak. So if they can win this round, they go to 11 points. And then if they win next week, they go to 14 points. However, if they lose this, they'll remain on 8 points, and even if they win next week, they would only get to a maximum of 11, which is not enough to beat the 4th place team that has 12 points at this moment in time. And Zaro, there risking his life, doesn't know that there is someone on that barricade and loses about 50 odd HP because of it. But is able to at least escape with their life. Ruck still want to be a little bit zesty on this window towards White Stairs. Knows there's a player on the reverse of the angle. I believe it is the buck of Tim who's waiting for it. Sees the head. Just doesn't quite land the shots. Not able to react in time. The Jaeger still want to tease the potential of the swing. Tim, though, is just going to wait them out. Holy, though, came to join the party. Brings in the Claymore to make sure no one can hop out that window without at least receiving a massive explosion into their face. Karma getting the drones in. Making sure they have the information at the top of White Corridor and then towards that Cocktail Lounge, though. They're not quite able to land anything yet, as Zaro is dealt with this time. And it's Tim to open up the scoreboard inside of this round. 4 versus 4 situation though, but Jaeger's there to swing. Ruck finds one, Dreams finds another at the same time. It's a 4 versus 3 situation, and another one is spotted outside the white window, but can't quite land the shots. Ruck chokes it. Tim comes out on top here now. It's a 3 versus 3 situation, but Tim is a little bit worse for wear. About 70 odd HP left on side for him. But you won't be too worried about that. He's been able to get the kill. 3 members left on side for each player, each team. 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock, so things need to be cooking. They need to start moving through this map and start getting the control they need. Dreams is in 90, moving towards a reading corridor though. Silencer does ring out just next to them, but it's not going to land any shots. That's on the top floor there. The Buck is doing the work to open up the angles inside of Cocktail Lounge. That is Tim that's doing that. Gets rid of the Frost. Make sure that the mat is not going to be playing havoc later on the round if they do decide to go in for that push through the Hell door. Instead, just opts to go towards Heaven, and a little bit of lag there. To apologise there. Tiro though is now sometimes found himself inside of sight. Drops his hatch and is able to get in. Gets down for his trouble though. Gets another one, but Closari is dealt with at the end, and it's Tim to find the final shot. And Penta take another round in a row, and they go into match point. And it looks as though Native could be going home. They're staring down the barrel of an early exit from the ESA Cup. One of the first teams to be eliminated from the ESA Cup in this fashion. Of course, there's a few teams that have already gone home. However, that is yet to be decided. A big round here from Native. They need it, they require it if they want to stay here and have a potential chance of getting into those playoff positions. They're going to have to change things up. That's 2 rounds in a row they've lost, and they're not even going to show us the kitchen once. They don't even think they can try and do it. They're going back to the top floor. They've tried the middle floor, tried the top floor, and then we go back here. This is where the final showdown could be. The Capcan traps are brought out, doubled up on the cigar shop door to make sure that anyone that does come in there has to keep an eye on their feet and their kneecaps, make sure that they aren't down for their trouble and pushing through there. But now, of course, we're seeing the Oryx on side. Has been pretty ineffective throughout the entire match. There's been picked a couple of times, but there's been no real Oryx plays that have been beneficial for either side. So let's see if they can come up with something that can be useful. Dreams here has brought along the Solus as well, and we did see some great Solus play in the early rounds, but no one has been able to get anything effective since then. Instead, they are now able to get some drones and deal with quite a few of them. They have now been able to deal with at least 2 drones now for the side of Native. But Penta are going to be feeling confident, they're going to be feeling strong and aggressive. His Ruck is again on this white stairs area, and time and time again, Ruck's been on this white staircase and has never once really got a good performance out of it. Has been able to get 1 or 2 kills from anyone advancing up the white corridor, but has not really been able to get rid of anyone, and has eventually lost their life. Ruck takes a little bit of damage inside of Cigar Lounge, and it doesn't really look like they're dedicating any utility towards this hold in Cigar Shop, and I think this might be where they're going wrong. They're conceding pretty much everything inside the Cigar Lounge shop. They don't really care about holding on to it. They're instead just going to rely on the fact that the Oryx is going to play a sneaky play behind the bar and just wait there. Closari inside of the freezer area as well. Remember, of course, that has brought along the Capcan traps. Downstairs, though, Zaro awaits the opportunity for someone to hop through this wall. The wall is opened. It has been done. Has an angle though, knows that they will be wanting to come through that red wall though. Karma though opens up this round with the first pick though, is going to find Reluct. That will be the Oryx dealt with. The roam will be no more found inside of a bathroom, I believe, but still Zaro waits patiently on this angle. Knows that someone will likely want to come through there. Eventually he's going to give it up though, send some shots up through the floorboard. Ruck though is going to find one and finds Holy, and it's rotated out towards Barry there, sends out a smoke baby early on just to make sure that they're prevented though, but there's a player inside the bathroom. They're not actually aware of it. It's Tiro, of course, aggressive as ever inside the bathroom there. Pulls back a little bit, doesn't quite want to go as far as you can see before. Closari though is going to find one though for Native and finds Karma, and that is their victim now. Tiro still awaiting someone to come through from into Cigar Lounge. Spots a player, doesn't quite land the shots though onto the solo, so the repeaks there, not able to land anything, and there's still someone in the side of Freezer. Not able to be dealt with just yet. Able to escape the clutches of Tiro, who sends in another nade, but is going to be caught in the act though, but Risk is there on the coverage to deal with Closari, and Solos is shot dead. Tiro finds that one. Now pushing through towards Freeze. It's a 2 versus 3 situation. There's 2 smoke babes though, or 1 smoke babe now in the pocket for Rook, who can prevent it though, but doesn't know there's a player inside. A Freezer rotates through. Tiros finds himself a double on the round, and Zaro though is the last one remaining alive for Native. Has to clutch it up, has to win the round for Native, or they're going home, and Penta make the playoffs, and they do! Penta take the win, 7-4. Just too much for Native in the end. They absolutely steamrolled them after this great second half performance. That rehost working in their favour, and they are able to go all the way to the playoffs. They pooped Native out. We've seen it. We find our top 4 within Group B. (7-4) in favour of Penta. We find our top 4, which are as follows: Team Black, Molotov Gang UK, Penta, PS4, and Team Kodak by LFO. Their name though could be subject to change. That is the top 4 that is decided for Group B, although the order has not been decided just yet. At the moment, Team Black are on 15 points, Molotov Gang also on 15 points, Penta on 15 points, and Kodak on 12 points. That is the points distribution as we speak. But of course, there is 1 game remaining for a few of them as well. And also, because Team Black and Molotov Gang have won 5 games, they are in the... Well, actually, no, yeah. Because they've won 5 games, Molotov Gang actually dropping a game as well. Because they've won 5 games, they're on 15 points already, so they still have the potential to get themselves onto 18. Well, Team Black do. They still have 2 games left. So if Team Black win this, they could get themselves up towards that elusive 21 points, which is max points. So for all that 7 games, 3 points a game, and they will get themselves into the winning position. Of course, starting positions do matter. Depends on where you get seeded and whatnot. So it's decided with that win. So the next game is pretty much of no consequence. It's going to be Team Black versus Palakarki. Means nothing to Palakarki because they're already out of the competition. Even if they won both their games, they can't qualify, so they're out. However, it does mean a little bit to Team Black, because if they win this, they will put themselves well ahead in the race to get that top spot, with Molotov Gang having dropped a couple of points, and Penta as well, still to play next week. Team Black, though, they're definitely the favourites to win this group now at this point. But that's going to be it for that game now. We've of course got another game just following up, and that will be us heading in towards Black versus Palakarki. Of course, that's due to start in about 15 minutes, so we'll schedule it for then. It's 9:15 that is due to start Central Eastern Time, and then we will get cooking and getting ready to go with that one. Like I said, it's Black versus Palakarki, and that is it's not as of much consequence as what the Native and Penta one was. So it's not going to be as exciting, unfortunately, because there isn't as much riding on it. But it's still going to be a good time, I hope. It's still going to be fun. So we will meet you back here in about 15 minutes. See you shortly. Enjoy your time away. Go and get a cup of tea, your dinner, whatever you fancy. And we'll see you back here in 15 minutes. See you later. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome back to the second game for this evening. It will be Black versus Palakarki, just due to start in the next minute or two. Of course, we will just go over what just happened in that previous game. It was Native versus Penta, and Penta won that one out 7-4, so they make themselves... sorry, apologies. They make it into the playoffs, and Native go home. It's just unfortunate for them. You know, it's just the way that the cookie crumbles. Someone has to lose, someone has to win, and that's just the way it has worked for Native season. It ends in disappointment. Black versus Palakarki, though, this will be an opportunity for Black to open up the leaderboard, the gap anyway at the top of the leaderboard, and start to get themselves cemented in that top spot. Now, in terms of the map bans, we'll just go over that game because it's just about to start. So, map bands that we have, that you'll see just in front of you, we're heading to Theme Park, and it's interesting. We don't get a lot of theme parks. I actually think that this was a bit of a big brain play from Team Black onto Palakarki, because Palakarki were left open for there to be an opportunity to go to Villa And Villa's been the most played map this season, well, one of the most played maps anyway, and I think that's where they were expected to go. And of course, Team Black banned away Villa, and now we find ourselves on theme. And I don't think they were quite expecting that. So we'll see if they're able to deal with that. Palkirky, like I say, have nothing to play for. They're already out of the competition. This is just for Team Black to gain some points and gain some round differential to solidify their position. But we will begin things just shortly. We'll get started with this round and this game. I think everyone's in the is ready to go. So let me just check. I think they are all ready to go. So we're just gonna get things underway. Well, like I say, I think that Team Black have already won that ban phase already. I think that's a pretty confident thing to say and a pretty accurate thing to say, because that is what happened, the way that it's worked out, and we'll get cracking. So we start, we go to theme, and you know what I'll do? I'll get the theme things up just now. We'll get things up and we'll have a look. Let's see what if theme is how many times it's been played. So let's see. This is now the third time theme has been played, as opposed to Villa's 13 times. So like I say, if Villa had been picked, it would now be the top played map in the game in this competition so far. Chalet 14 as well, so they'd be equal had that been the case. So I think that is probably why it was left open, and they were expecting to go to Villa, but Team Black have banned Villa anyway and took them to theme. So that could be tricky for them, because they might not have theme prepared and have let that one go through. So we'll see how it works out. It's it's the least picked map alongside Border at the moment. It's only been played 2 times, and so is Border. They've both only been played 2 times. Of course, you can see just the bans are ringing out as we speak. And Jackal and Knock. No one's surprised. Literally no one is surprised that Knock is gone. She's the top banned operator. She's been banned an astonishing 26 times this season. That is a ban rate of 40.6%, and already before this matchup, and she's been banned in this game, and I think she was banned in the last game as well, so that would be 28 times. In fact, no, she wasn't banned in the last game, but she was banned she was banned this game, of course, that'd be 27 times, so up to nearly 40 odd percent of the ban rate this season. Jackal, he's the second highest banned operator as well at 34.4%. He's been banned 22 times, so no one again is surprised at these bans. There's nothing really analytical to put onto that. They are just operators that people do not want to deal with. Mira as well been banned. She's been banned a bit more of a balanced amount. She's been banned 14 times this season, 21.9% of the ban. Still a common ban. Quite often you will see that ban coming through. But the big thing, the big ban, Solus. 50% of the ban rates through this entire competition. That is 32 times that she has been banned away in this competition, which is an absolutely wild amount of, I think, games wise, that is insane. You know, we've only played just over 60 games, and she's been banned nearly half of them, or well, pretty much half, more than half of them now, after obviously with the ban in this match, which is crazy, absolutely crazy.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
It's
bombs.
still, to me, almost an irrelevant ban, because no one's using it, no one's played it, even when it's been open. It's been open maybe once or twice, and people haven't been able to get the full functionality of it, because she's like IQ. You need someone to play around it. You need someone to coordinate with the Solus, to call out the positions of these gadgets, so that someone can capitalize on that information. Because you can't, when you're using the gadget, you're vulnerable. It's not like IQ where you have the pistol in hand and you can use it yourself. It's not like that. You are completely vulnerable when you're using the gadget. It does have quite a quick changeover, but you do want to have the coordination with it. So we've only really seen it be effective in terms of given the potential runouts, because they've been able to spot claymores and nomad airjabs, whatnot, and then they've had the opportunity to do that, or they've just been getting rid of pre-placed drones and drone hunting, which you could just bring a Mozzie for that anyway and let the Mozzie pest do it themselves. You don't actually have to dedicate the time and your actual round to doing that. And I do apologise, there was a little bit of lag and it's just not ideal, but I think it might just be player side, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that is where things are. It's just, at this stage, I just think teams should start to wise up to the fact that the Solus, I think, is a wasted ban. Because it's just not getting played. No one's prepared it. No one knows what's happening with it. Jasup taking quite a bit of damage inside a bunk. That's from the repel angle that was found there from Tatters on Ash. Decides just to go for a rotate round, and someone, I just got the sound cue that someone left the lobby, but no one has left the lobby, so we're all good just now. The phones will start to ring. Of course, the Decay is on the roster as we kick off this round. Though Lego Man's going to be able to find one, but the instant trade out comes from Wonny, who's an interesting setup on SMG 11, has a silencer and the wild scope on it. There's a player but just turns his back at the wrong time. Madrino there is able to capitalise on that just at the same time as Tatters eventually hunts down and kills Jasup and Hooty. Now goes for the rotate up towards Arcade Stairs, knows his players are getting comfortable inside the cafe, opening up these angles. The sledge is there, it's Sutter that is opening that up. Has the information been found? Does no one know that there's a player on the staircase? No. The DMR does find its mark. Hooty finds one back. There's a 3 versus 2 situation. Surely knows that there's going to be one nearby and trying to capitalise on that. Cake though going for the plant. Who's on the coverage? It's not going to be Madrino because he's outside. It's Towers on the coverage. He's finds one. Can he find the second inside of barrels? And does finds himself a first round 3k. Now, like I said, this is of no consequence to Palakarki. They are out, they are home, they've already got their bags packed, and on the flight back, they are just queuing into a little practice game, basically, is what's happening for them. They don't have any opportunity to get anything from it. They're just playing for pride. And full props to them for playing it, of course. They may have other games and other competitions that they would like to play in. So they're just focusing on fixing things and making sure they can get themselves into a good position going into any other competitions later on.
Bomb located by attackers.
Reloading. Initiating jammer. Jammer ready.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds to insertion. Attackers are
And for those of you in chat that are not aware, I will just give you a very brief rundown of how the playoffs work. Of course, the top rated seed in the group would go through to round 2 of the playoffs in the upper bracket. And then you've got the second place one will start in round 1 of the upper bracket, but in the finals, I think it's upper bracket, right? And then, yeah, upper bracket, yeah. And then teams finishing third as well, round 1 as well. And then the fourth place ones will be on the lower brackets starting. So they will have one life though. Sweeping through the map quickly though, Lego Man finds the first victim in this round, and it's Penguin to fall though. Takes quite a bit of damage on the return fire coming through from waiting into that cash stash area though. Lego Man getting aggressive now in towards the bathroom area, pushes through, has the player in tow next to him in the form of the Decay Bay. Surely these calls start to come out now though, but is it accidentally? No, I thought it was a team kill there, but it's actually wanted to find the wall bang that comes through onto the head of the ensuing rush that was coming through there from Lego Man. Just stops it right in its tracks, and it's a 3 versus 4 situation, and the rotate comes through from Wonny, who drops down back to the bottom floor to join their comrades inside of sight in the form of Mute and Wamai in that armor area. Still some pre-fires going out on the top floor. They're not aware of the fact that Wonny has made that rotate, though. The drones are coming through and trying to find the information on it. Looks as though everyone's just going to drop all the way down. No one's even needing the top floor control. They haven't actually brought anything on site to make any vertical angles. They did have the Ash with the breaching charges, and they do still have them on Sutter if they do want to make some angles, but they're not opting to go for it as of yet. Tatters, though, gets us up and running with the attacking towards that maintenance wall, and will at least be able to open something up though. The impact nade does go out and stops one of the ace charges though, but doesn't able to get the other one though. Double kill from Tatters though. He gets aggressive, pushes in towards sight though. Does quite a bit of damage onto him though. Wonny, and now a triple kill for Tatters though. Finds the other player inside the sight, and surely in split. Surely can't quite get that fourth though. Pistol in hand, the shotgun is there, but Marino there, the prophet, finds Hartika. And that is another round on the board for Team Black, and it looks as though they are not here to mess around. They want the points and they want to get out here quick because it's 2 rounds flush, quick, clean, and they want to get moving.
attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Okay. So we head into the third round. We've already got 2 rounds in a row from Team Black, and it looks as though they are bringing the aggression out very early on. Tatars on 6 kills already, Lego Man on 2. And Tatars is looking to get themselves in a MVP situation. Now, I don't have the MVP stats in front of me. I have all of them anyway. Let me have a look. Lego Man has 2 MVPs. Tatars has 2 as well. The record at least at the moment is 3, which there's a kind of joint situation going on with Iz.
5 seconds
I
left.
don't actually know how to say the other name. Is it Liasil, Schlewu, and Nerd, all on 3.
The bomb.
So if Lego Man or Tatars are able to collect themselves an MVP today, they will be able to get themselves into the at least top part of the players for this stage. Now, East side take, of course, it's the same site. They're going down to Armory again. They want to retry it and try and make amends for that previous round. But the attackers will have something quick to say about that, though. There is a spot, and a shot finds its way into the head of a Lego Man, and it'll be hooty to find that, though, on the Thorn. A nice angle was there. Spots another one, not able to land anything onto that player, though, who's able to move towards the cash door, with not so much as a graze on them. Hooty now retreats towards maintenance area, knows that the players will be on the hunt to try and get the reparations for that life that was so cruelly taken from them in the form of Lego Man. Tatars will be on the hunt, brings out the Gemini clone to try and find the information inside of Office, and looks to just act immediately on it. The red ping is there, it has been gathered, but the player has dropped all the way down towards Yellow Staircase. There is only 1 player remaining on the top floor. Penguin teases it out, though, comes back to Yellow Staircase, and 1A though now. Moving around to Upper Arcade towards that bunk area, sweeping through the map, knows that there is a gunfight to be had in towards that waiting area, but who is going to be on the receiving end of it? Is it going to be Madrino or Tatars? Tatars, though, has now moved towards Cash, trying to deal with the... I think he's trying to deal with some form of utility. I'm not 100% which what it is, but is able to get through. Now towards waiting. I do apologise, selected the wrong player there, though. And I think we're going to see another pick here come through, and it's Penguin to find Madrino, and it looks as though we're actually seeing a little bit of fight back from Palakarki, who don't want to go down without a fight. They don't want to head home without at least taking a couple of scalps with them. Tatars trying to find someone through the floorboards inside the office, but is not going to connect any shots at all, though. Sutherland's going to find Jasup, and now things start to unravel a little bit here for Palakarki as the sweep through the map comes from Tatars. All the way through to Arcade, the cam is shot. 1 is the one that could be next in the firing line of Tatars, who's just going to come in towards Lab there. And is that an angle being opened up? Do they know 1 is in there? The feet are spotted. They know the player's inside the Lab, so the information has been fed back that the Thunderbird has rotated there. Tatars takes a little bit of damage because he's dropped down, and of course he's got aggressive in towards Lab now. Double kill for Sutter, though. He evens up the scoreboard. It's a 3 versus 3 situation, and still on the hunt. Thirsty as ever, though, but then there is 1 kill going to come out. Cake will find 1. Now it's 2 versus 2 situation. Immediate refrag here. Hooty finds Cake. And now Tatars and Sutter left with it all to do for the attack with 30 seconds left on the clock. They will be feeling no confident though. Quick peek coming through the split doorway though. They do have Ace on site, so they are able to open up the door, open up these walls if they need to. And they will do that very late on. They'll open up the yellow wall, but the impact nade is tossed out. They are not able to land anything. Goes too far through that hole there, and now the push comes through. But surely that barbed wire is heard, though. Sends out the nade, though. Tatars can't quite land the shots. Eventually gets the pre-fire in. Sutter, though, gets down as he comes through the breach. Now it's a 1 versus 2 situation. Tatars going for the rotate round, though. Knows he doesn't have time to get through there. Can't quite land the shots, and the defenders of Palakarki win their first round versus Team Black on Armory on theme. And Palakarki aren't done yet. Team Black drop around. They're able to at least get around, so things are looking pretty good. Of course, they got the early picks there, but the actual part where that kind of fell apart there was at the end. Team Black just ran out of time there. 30 seconds left on the clock, and they couldn't quite decide which angle they wanted to push. They went for the split push, but they didn't quite time it at the same time. They had 1 player go through the breach just a split second before we could get the swing through from the Ayana inside of the Dragon doorway, and that was just the result of that because they fell apart at the end. Just unfortunate. It is what it is. They'll drop that round. That is Gone by the wayside though, but it is one of the strongest sites on this map, so it's done, and now they have to rely on a good defense on this top floor, because there is quite a bit of an extension that has to be done on this top floor, usually out towards upper arcade or usually out towards cash. It depends on what way you want to extend and which way you want to try and counter, because it's a 50-50 split whether the attackers are going to come from the east side or the west side. So it's a stick or twist situation. Do we dedicate all of our utility towards the east side in that cache area, or do we dedicate our utility towards the cafe side? It really does depend on where the information is gathered and where they think the attackers are going to come from. It looks as though they are dedicating to that east side push, and it looks as though, counter to that, we see a west side push coming from the attackers. But there are 2 players at least in towards that cafe side. There's not as much utility dedicated to that side hold, but there is 1 player at least inside of cafe and 1 at the top of the yellow staircase, and another player just rotated out towards bunk as well. Now, this is where the information game starts to play its part as they try to find where these defenders are playing. Moving up towards the window here is Madrino, holding the angle, knows there's a player that will be on that reverse, pops it out there, but just sees the head, and I don't think he's actually realised that was a head there. And just showing a little bit too much there. And again, an interesting setup here from Wani, who's against a silencer on this gun, and Hooty Tooty though is going to find the first pick on this round. It's Lego Man to fall. And it is the Rooney DMR to find that one. Hartika though finds himself downed and dealt with at the top of the yellow staircase. His Tatter though finds his 7th victim inside this matchup here though, but doesn't quite find his 8th as they're able to hop back through towards site. Spots another player in the rotating towards bunk. The red ping's coming through, spots the player again, but not able to land any shots there. Now in the corner though, surely the time is up. The jig is done for the Jaeger, who's somehow able to still escape though. The pings are coming out and Tatters is just hunting this player down. They're not able to quite coordinate enough to get the final shot onto the Jaeger though, and eventually though does get a couple shots through the wall though. Spots another one though, it's Tatters to swing out and find Hooty Tooty, who tried to join in to save his teammate from his impending doom, but Marino is able to shut that down and finds Jasup inside of bunk. It's a 4 versus 2 situation, but the shield is being played. The headshot is found onto Tatters, and that'll be the heavy hitter. Top fragger gone for the attacking side of black. Now as Penguin and Wani have a 2 versus 3 situation to stare down though, but the buzzing of the phones will be going out and giving away that position. Now that breach was already open. That was an extension that they went for themselves here. They're going to try and open it up a little bit more just to make it a little bit quicker. Gets aggressive onto the actual breach now, but the drone does come out again, and the swing surely will come though, sends a C4 at least, and well, at least tease out the fact that they are still well within the vicinity of that attacker that's coming through. Madrino though still looking for the hunt, trying to find the player though. They're doubling up together, they're playing the refrags though, and it's the KB to push in and gets it down for his trouble, and it's a beautiful shotgun play coming out though. Can I find the second? No, he can't. Madrino though finds Wani, and Cake find Penguin at the same time, and Team Black steamroll through into initiation and find that round, and they're 3-1 up after 4 rounds. Now we head into the 5th round, and this is where things start to get a bit more pressure for Palakarki, because things start to run out. Time is starting to run low, and they gave Black a little bit of an inroad into winning this game early.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Tatters will be on the hunt for his 3rd MVP, and is now well within reaching distance of that, because he's 8 kills, 1 death so far, and leaving the rest of his teammates in the dirt. Madrino is the closest to him in terms of the kill count, 4 kills. And doing a great job on the entry, able to find their victims. The drones come in and locate where these defenders are playing, and then Tatters just falls in and finds the shots, and that is pretty much how it works. Point and shoot. Send Tatters into a building, kill everybody, and hope for the best. And it's worked pretty much every single round bar 1.
10 seconds to go.
Same site, same setup, same operators this time for the defending side of Palakarki, or not to change anything, opting just to go for the same idea, and they want to do a little bit of an extension towards cash, a little bit of an extension towards cafe. But where are the attackers coming from? Of course, they're going to come in from the northwest side, and they're going to go for the cafe push, which is where that is what they early want to get the early pressure coming from. Madrino on the ash, looking for a tight angle to be held on. There will be a player to eat onto that, and takes a bite, but not quite able to get any shots either at each other. Some utility to be dealt with in the corner there. I believe it was I don't know know actually what it was. I think it was maybe just the Capcan trap that was dealt with here. Madrino looking for the Azami there, and the yellow pings are coming out. The information's gathered. They know there's a player in there. Hartico gets the swing, finds Lego Man, and at least finds one for that cafe hold. Hartico taking quite a bit of damage now, though. And surely Tatars are going to rotate around and try and want a bit of this. So the nade coming from below, and it's cooked to perfection, but doesn't quite find its mark because the rotate is there late. But it is there. 3 versus 5, though. One is able to pop up with another kill and save this matchup and finds Madrino inside of Cafe, though. But the rotate back in towards Cafe. The drone is spotted, and that will find Hartika. That will at least have the information fed back towards Cake, who is now going to go for the swing. The ACOG in hand, and knows there's a player to be found there. Finds a little bit more damage onto Hartika, though, who's still able to escape with their life, but is not looking too good in terms of the HP. Down to about 5 HP, he was able to get all the way back to site now, but there is a player wedged inside of here. Sutter, though, is aware of the fact that they could be coming through. He's been able to get himself into initiation. No one's aware of the fact he's stuck in from the back line, and it's a double kill for Sutter. No one knew. Can't he find the triple? Not able to connect anything onto Hartika, who again finds another kill somehow on 5 HP, and looking for more. Thirsty for another kill on this round and not able to land the shot, but does. Hartika threads the needle through that gap next to the reinforcement, and Tatars falls. The heavy hitter for the side of black isn't able to do anything, not able to land even one single solitary bullet on Hartika, who is feeling this performance within this round. Just instead just opts to close off that doorway, make it a little bit more difficult for Cake to get in there, and is able to escape through towards initiation here. Cake still holding on that angle, knows that there is an opportunity for someone to come through with that pixel peek, but not going to take the bite just yet. They're just going to play time. They're just going to wait patiently. Knows that the push will have to come. It's 30 seconds left on the clock, and it's still in favour of the defenders. It shows ahead, though. Cake wanting to get in towards this initiation area, just instead going to have to bring out a thermite charge to get rid of that wall, and surely the rotate will come round from the alibi, who's just going to hold on towards that area and towards 90. But the wall is now open. Information gathered, 15 seconds left on the clock, and the push has to come here. Now as the smoke babes go out, not the smoke babes, but the smoke grenades go out at least, and is able to find the heavy hitter of Hartika, finds a double. Cake goes for the plant, and the rotate coming round from the alibi. Can they find the player, though? Knows where the last one is, and it's a Cake clutch. 3 versus 1, and that is a round on the board for black that just shouldn't have been there at all. Beautifully done. Amazing shot. Thermite with a clutch. And I think we've lost someone, but it's fine. We'll just pause it. We'll have a look, see why we've lost a player in a moment. Well, what a clutch there. 4-1. And that is why Team Black are at the top, because even when their backs are up against the wall and they are suffering, they are able to rely on these players to clutch things out and land the shots and land what they need and find everything that shouldn't be there. The impossible is done. The 1 versus 3 clutch happens. This quick push. Hartika had a lot to say about it on that round, but not enough was done in the end. The 5 HP points just proved to be too little to deal with the onslaught that came in from Cake, who was hungry for that round and knew what had to be done. 15 seconds on the clock, and it didn't matter. Was able to land every single shot. Faked the plant. Knew Alibi would come for the rotate, and landed that final shot. Team Black are 4 rounds to Palakarki's 1.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Bonus station position.
Ready to activate.
Bonus station position.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Jammer ready.
Fences ready and wait for your
Bonus
razor wire.
station placed.
I need to reload. My magnets will protect us. Magnets ready.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds left before insertion.
Now, we are heading to, of course, you guessed it, Armory.
Defuse a bomb.
The only round that we have seen a win for Palakarki. This time they're going to go back there and they're going to try it again. Now, they started this round quick last time. They got an opening pick that was brought out from the Thorn of I believe it was Hooty that was on it the last time. He was on it again, and they were able to get themselves the opening pick here. The east side take is where we're going to be moving in from. Not going to go from the west side this time. They like to take from cash, they like to flip these things around a little bit. A couple of yellow pings going out towards that cash though. They know there's some players on that rappel and coming from the cash side here. Some of the drones will have to be dealt with here. Penguin now under the pressure and under the cosh of this incoming onslaught that will be coming his way in towards cash here. Where is Tatters though? Can we find the locator of the heavy hitter? The Wani though is the first to find their victim in this round, and it's Legoman to fall, who's been the opening pick a couple of times inside this matchup, and not been able to quite get the form that they achieved in the last couple of games up to par. But this is what I mean. They have players throughout the roster that can step up in times of need. But there's a player inside a vault and no one knows they're in there. The melee doesn't come out in time though. Hooty finds Madrino, but Tatters at the same time is activated on the other side of the map and finds Jasup in towards control, and now sweeping through towards initiation on the hunt for the other player. Knows there's a player in towards the vault area, sends a pre-fire out there but doesn't land anything because that wall has now been reinforced off. Hooty is able to escape with their life. Back to site they go, and everyone has dropped down to the bottom floor. They now have the control of the top floor, the attacker side of Team Black. Now they can get the work done though. They can begin the sweep down towards the site, and they can open up waiting room and open up office and make sure these angles are created. They're also going to opt to drop down towards maintenance. It looks as though that is where the push will come from. They still have the thermite on board. They still have one nade left for Tatters, and they still have all of the utility available for both the thermite and the ace. So they have the opportunity to do this. They have the smokes, they have breaching charges, they have quite a bit of opportunity to get themselves in. The impact needle is in hand. It's ready to go from Penguin though, but there's too much hard breach for this to deal with. There's only 2 impact nades left on site. There's a C4 as well that can be used from Hartika if they are able to do it. The smoke babe goes out to deal with some of the ADSs though. The impact nade comes up though, the nade goes down. The impact nade is sent out though, but they've baited it out though and at least been able to get themselves one impact nade down. The C4 goes over the top, but doesn't find its mark. The wall will be opened up though, and now the push come through the wall, but knows there's a player going to be there. Cake knows it's happening. The ACOG in hand, 3 versus 1 though, just 2 quick kills. Tatters finds another one, and Hooty suddenly in a 1 versus 3 situation. The plant is going down, but does he know exactly where it is? Surely here's the sound cue for that, but goes running up, finds the plant, or at least can't find it. Find the double! Hooty with a triple in the round, and it's a 1 versus 1 situation. Can he find it? He needs the last kill to win it out for them somehow. He's going to bring this one back from the brink if he's able to get the kill onto Suther, who's on the hunt. They're just going to go ring a roses. Can they find each other? Just not able to spot. They know they're moving round in a circle, but can they land the shot? No! Suther puts him in the dirt, and Black take the round, and it was so close to being a dropped point there for them. So close to the clutch for Hooty. Almost a situation where if Cake, you can do it, I can do it. But no, within touching distance, they were not able to get that round across the line just with that clutch at the end there though. But Team Black, they'll count their lucky stars because they were able to keep themselves within that round after a commanding lead. They dropped it, but they were able to at least make reparations and win that one out at the end though with the clutch from Suther. Won 5 rounds to the 1 round though. We switch sides, and this is where I get concerned because it's Theme Park. Theme Park is a hard map to attack. It's very difficult to attack because there's lots of windows in terms of spawn peaks. There's lots of windows in terms of spawn peaks that can happen, jump outs. There is so much information that needs to be gathered because it is quite a big map, and because it's a square map, if you look at the top of it, it's pretty square. So when you go in from one side, you need to worry about when you sweep through the map. You have basically 3 lanes that you need to go through. You see them just now. They're basically just guided with the doors if you're coming from either the east or the west side. You can see it. You've got the lane coming through the bathroom side, you've got the one coming from the middle of the map on the top floor, and you've got the one coming through initiation. And then they kind of peek together for the waiting bit. Usually there rotates between initiation and top yellow anyway. So they continue that lane all the way through bunk, the one going through the middle and towards the games area, towards arcade, and another one taking us through that hallway next to cafe. And because it has that unique kind of 3-lane system, it means that you've basically got 3 avenues of approach that you need to take. So you need to either dedicate players to go through all 3 of them at the same time, or you need to have something to prevent a defender coming through one of them. So there's just so much opportunity to be flanked. Even though there is 3 staircases, there's less staircases than there is opportunities for the defenders to move around on the top floor. But it's still quite a lot of staircases. Not like Coastline where there's only 2. and you just need to lock off 2 staircases, and you can kind of do that with a couple of drones and or a couple of air jabs, whereas Theme Park has quite a bit of opportunity with that, so it's quite a hard map to attack, and this is what I'm concerned for the attacking side now, switching over to being Palakarki. Black have just put in a shift, winning 5 rounds on attack, and they'll be feeling confident here. There's a player though inside of maintenance though, it's Jasup though, who eventually falls victim to the bullets to rain in from Tatters though, who was just waiting inside of maintenance for that opportunity to find the player that would hop into that window. The pressure was coming from above. The shotgun of Suther doesn't find anything on towards that player, but it is the Mozzie that's able to profit off of that. And this is the difference between the attackers. You can see that they're taking their time. They're being a bit slower than what we've seen from Team Black, who were very quick to get into the map and drone it out and get the information needed and start to execute though. But the aggression comes out here. It's Madrino to find 1, looking for 2, finds it, and that's exactly what happens. They are 1-2 punch inside the cafe, and Team Black have themselves firmly in the lead for this round at least. Hartika now left with his friend Hooty Tooty, going for the rotate round towards Cash, and they now have a big clutch scenario on hand here, but it's a glass scenario, not able to land the shots. Lego Man gets aggressive, and the fire rate just reigns way too much supreme for Hooty Tooty. Sorry, for Hartika to deal with. Hooty Tooty though is inside of the map, inside of Cash. I don't think they're actually going to be aware of the fact they're in here though. Surely there's a call came out though, and that's exactly what happens. Margino rotates in towards office and finds the head of Hooty Tooty, and that is that round locked off. And like I said, I thought it was going to be a difficult ask for Palakarki to win on this attack, and that seems to be exactly what just happened, because they barely set a foot anywhere near the site. They were shut down easily for Palakarki, for Black even. And it looks as though Tatters is going to solidify themselves in that top player role, at least top 5 players for the tournament, with 3 MVPs out of 6 games, so that's 50% of the game so far, so it's not too bad. Not too bad. It's a good return on investment in Tatters. But we're match point. We've got, you know, it's pretty much done for Palakarki at this point, because Team Black are just running away with this so far, and it looks as though we are going to see that Brazil score line. But we can't write them off yet, because there have been a couple of rounds that have been a little bit squeaky for Team Black, who've been close to dropping a few of these rounds in terms of the clutches, and a few areas where they've just made a few mistakes, maybe got a little bit too quick and a little bit too ahead of themselves. But it's unlikely, because the form that Team Black are in, they'll be one of the only teams to win all of their games if they were able to win this one. And that looks as though they are going to get that done inside regulation without even dropping a point. And that would put them firmly in the top spot. They would be untouchable even if Molotov Gang were to win, because of the round differential. Well, actually, now that I look at it, maybe not.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Jammer deployed.
Laser in position.
Top floor, a couple of bits of extension out towards the bunk area, but I am pretty convinced that they're going to see a Cash take your Tatters, though. He's going to get the first pick. He's able to get himself the spawn peak outside of Cash, though, but Cake has accidentally left the game, presumably because of a disconnect, but it's a 4 versus 4 situation anyway, and I don't think that they will be completely alarmed at that situation because of losing Cake, because Tatters is on a heater so far. 12 kills to 3 deaths. On the hunt for more, standing on the Cash door, being a little bit ballsy with it. And I think Hooty 2 is aware of the fact that there's a player there. I don't know why we've ended up on Artika there, because I was looking for Hooty 2, but they're droning. No one's going to be aware of that information. It is gathered now. The drone is sent in towards Cash, and it hops off the balcony before it can actually find information. On the jump out does come out again, and there is a player on that roof that is... Wow, that's a beautiful shot to come out from Tatters there. He finds another one out of Jasup, and is just going to stand and eat those kills up, no problem. Every single time they peek them, it looks as though they're going to just walk straight into this. Tatters is be so aggressive on that balcony with 3 versus 3 situation. No, Penguin's going to find Madrino though, and it looks as though Palakarki could get an edge into this matchup here if they're able to pick up a round though. Lego Man though finds Hooty Tooty and puts that push into the dirt. Hartika though is going to drop and not paying attention to the fact that Tatters is right behind them. Tatters just pops right out the catch door and shoots him straight in this back. Penguin in a 1 versus 3. Lego Man to close it out, and look at that. Black take the round and they take the map. 7-1. Clean as you like. They just absolutely steamroll Palakarki, who, to their credit, put in a decent performance. It wasn't too bad. You know, I wouldn't be too unhappy with that. They're Unfortunately, they're going to be going home early. They're not going to make it through to the playoffs of this competition. Palakarki, though, they put up a good showing, though. At least they fought a little bit. They got some good rounds in there, and they played well enough. They played okay. They played okay, but it was just not enough to deal with the aggression and the ferocity that came through from Team Black, who were just on them at every opportunity. Seen that passion from Tatters, who just wanted to get into the map as quick as possible, hunt these players down, react to that intel, make sure that there was an opportunity for them to get a foothold early in those rounds, and then they could sweep through the rest of it. And it was just like dominoes falling every single time. Tatters would get the first couple of kills, and then it would just fall after one another, and eventually that would lead to where we found ourselves in a 7-1 situation. But that's going to be it for this evening. That's the 2 games done, and so quick and quiet they're so quick and clean for Team Black, and they solidify themselves in playoffs. That is our top 4 decided. Team Black will take the top spot. I think mathematically it's not quite done. Could still go into round differential. Basically, if Molotov Gang win next week, if Team Black win next week, they'll win all their games, they take top spot. But if Molotov Gang win next week as well, then that means that they're both on 21. No, I'm talking rubbish. They do take. I'm talking rubbish because I just realised Molotov Gang have actually had a loss as well. So if Molotov Gang win and Team Black lose, then it's basically just down to rounds. If Team Black win, they just win on points, straight shot. 21 points, all the points for this one versus the 18 points of Molotov Gang, and they go through as the top seed. Molotov Gang on 15, Penta on 15, Kodak on 12 as well, and everyone else is out of the competition. Native on 8, Palakarki on 4, Boobats on 3, and Team Dragoni were already sent out of the competition because of a forfeit, and I think they disbanded, so they got 0 points. But that's going to be it for this evening. We'll be back again with more ESA Cup Season 5 tomorrow, week 6 of course, the number 3. I don't actually have the schedule in front of me of what the games will be tomorrow, but I think it's going to be me that is on the coverage for that tomorrow. So we'll see you tomorrow. Remember, my name is Chamberlain. Thanks for tuning in, and it's been a pleasure watching these matches with you all tonight, and we will see you in the next one. Hit us up on Twitter, ESA_Cup, if you want to keep up to date with any of the matches that are to come in the next few weeks. We will be heading into the playoffs imminently. 1 more week of groups after this week, and then things will get spicy in those best of 3s. But thanks for watching this stream, and enjoy the rest of your evening.